Welcome back to another episode of the Two Tone Podcast. I want to say right off the top, thank you all for subscribing so far. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, subscribe, like, leave a comment. We appreciate everybody that comes out and listens every week. But as always, we are here alongside with.
Theo Kale.
How's it going, kid?
That's going.
So this week, I didn't really have too many topics of my own. We obviously have our quote of the week and respective album and film of the week, but I don't have too much honestly to get into. I'm just gonna kind of go off of Theo's topics for today, so we'll see what we get into. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the Two Tone Podcast. I don't think I said in the beginning, but my name is Jaylen Kale. I appreciate y'all for listening. If you haven't heard, I got a new EP out on all streaming platforms. It's called Unfuckswittable. Go listen. Follow me on Spotify, Apple Music, all that wonderfulness. But what you got going on so far, T? With this Channel 6 script.
I've been working on it a little bit. Just going over the notes that people have given me about it.
I'm about to say you sent it to me and you sent it to Kyle as well. You sent it to anybody else to read?
Not yet. Just
Okay.
you two.
I'm about to say I gave you a couple of things plot wise that I think would be interesting to see in within your story, but what did Kyle give you more like stage direction advice or more like kind of plot what happens within the story kind of advice? What did he offer you?
Well, so far what I've read, he's offered me the how to make the script look more presentable. But he's also helped with some of the plots, like some things on it, how they don't make sense and how I could write them differently and stuff.
So kind of helping you with the format of the script so far. Just I'm about to say I kind of noticed you like to write in like quick actions
Yeah.
in your scripts, but me not being a screenwriter or whatever, I don't really know how it's supposed to look. Honestly, if I was writing it, I'd probably write it about the same way that you're doing it. But
Yeah. It's a lot. The formatting part for looking more professional is a lot different than how I had it, because I had just the basically the dialogue of the people, and then when I got to the action sequences, I just wrote paragraphs about what they were doing in it and all that stuff.
right, so what's more of the professional way to write a script? Would you say, other than just writing like the actions in paragraph form?
So while I was writing the original script, I was apparently. I'm not saying this as a dig to anybody or to you, Kyle. I'm just saying I apparently was too wordy with it. I would have one sentence talking about the main character, and then I would go to the second sentence and then start with the main character. So it would be James did blah blah blah, and then period, and then James did blah 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 also.
So
instead of just having it as James did this.
Right, so instead of having it be like a cohesive paragraph, it was more just quick actions within the scene more.
Yeah, basically.
I see what you're saying. But yeah, you're almost about done with writing the script so far. With regards to the actors for it, do you have anybody that you think you would like to be into the film? Goodness.
There's some that I'm thinking about, and some that I already have for the parts.
How many people would you say that you have like in mind out like okay, so with the script you have what like 4 characters total?
Yeah, but 2 of them are off screen, so you never really see them.
Right. I feel like the off-screen characters will be probably the easier part to do.
Yeah.
Um, but would you say 2 characters that are on screen or 3 characters on screen, right? 3 on and
Uh,
then 2 off. I think.
yeah.
Okay.
Counting the antagonist. Yeah.
Do you have somebody in mind for the lead?
Um, I'm still jumping between that. I mean, there is somebody, but there's just, I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Fair enough. I can understand that. I'm about to say, always as a creative, I'm never one of the people that really wants to work with anybody else, honestly. But every now and again, it's fun to hook up with a homie that you have a common interest with and kind of create something together.
Yeah.
There's a song on one of my albums from, I want to say 2019. It's called 17. Me and my buddy Greg, we produced it at his house. And he had like a little home studio, go into the closet and record your microphone.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. Greg's a great dude, great producer.
There's just people. Some people are more down, and some people are just like they're down, but I don't know if I want to work with them because of how they act when I'm not working with them.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I don't know.
In 2 ways. Speaking of films and creating films, what is your film of the week, T?
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
So, the Fantastic Mr. Fox. What made you choose Fantastic Mr. Fox?
So Wes Anderson is coming out with a new film.
He is. It looks so good.
I know. It's called. Isn't it called like Atomic?
Atomic City, I think.
Yeah, Atomic City or something like that.
Wes Anderson is one of those directors that like scratches my autistic like OCD, like just like the minutia of the way that he films and stuff. The way
Yeah.
everything is just so symmetrical. The colors are like really good. All the color contrast in his movies is so interesting.
He likes a lot of like I want to say 70s vibes where it's just like one plain color.
Yeah, like a lot of almost pastels and like
Yeah.
burnt orange, that kind of vibe, like late 70s. Definitely like late 70s kind of vibe. I don't like in have you ever seen what's the one that he made about the hotel? I forget exactly what it's called.
I know it starts with a B.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. If I remember it, I'll say it. But the B word hotel, I don't remember what it's called, but Wes Anderson hotel movie, you'll find it. Anyways, the way that that movie is shot and the colors in that movie specifically, it's such a nice movie to watch, and the stories are really interesting that he goes with. I was watching this little interview thing that he had, and it was just like 5 rules that he goes by or whatever, and he was like, um, he wants his movies to feel as if one character stepped into another, that he would belong in that world as well,
Yeah.
which I found was really interesting because a lot of his characters, like he was talking about how he loves to do the costume design for his movies and stuff, just have everybody in really like eccentric, vibrant costumes and stuff, which I always love in a movie. But with Fantastic Mr. Fox, it's claymation, isn't it? Or is it stop motion?
I think it's stop motion.
Very similar style between the two anyways, but claymation and stop motion are one of those mediums that we've talked about a little bit on the podcast, but it's one of those mediums that just takes so long to perfect and get, well, not only all the clips that you need to put the movie together, but
Yeah.
have it in a way that it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem choppy, or it doesn't seem just out of order.
Yeah. Um, it's crazy how many pictures they need to make 1 second of film.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm about to say I've made a couple stop motion pictures in my life, but like it hasn't. It's like the way that I do the animations for the podcast, like that stop motion. Technically, it's just drawing, and then the next page you got an onion scan of what you drew previously.
Yeah.
But it's like 90 slides just for the podcast intro. That's 14 seconds long. Like it's ridiculous how many slides it actually takes for the fucking to make anything in stop motion.
Especially with animation drawings and stuff. Like
Oh,
just
like
imagine
in
sitting there and having to be so tedious about where you place your pencil down.
yeah, I'm about to say like old school 90s animation, like in anime and stuff. I really like the style of anime in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And nowadays they're kind of using more 3D animation alongside with regular animation,
Yeah.
which I don't really care for too much, honestly, but it is what it is. So, with Fantastic Mr. Fox, um, I haven't seen that movie in so long. I honestly couldn't tell you what happens in the like within the storyline. Do you remember what happens to you?
Um,
Or have you seen it recently, or was it just kind of you've been learning about Wes Anderson and picked one of his movies?
more the second option because I mean I've seen it, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm about to say I saw it when it came out, like way back in the day. I think it was 2010 or 11, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like about Fox, and he's like his family's like poor and they can't eat or something, and he has to like find a way to get food for like the winter or something like that.
I remember there was one part in the video I was watching. It was talking about Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it's I didn't know, but it's based on a book written like in the late 1800s, and he kind of like took the storyline of the book and made it into a stop motion picture. But have you seen Isle of the Dogs?
No.
That's another Wes Anderson stop motion picture. That one's it's a little newer. I think it's 2022, maybe 2021.
I haven't seen a lot of Wes Anderson films other than Fantastic Mr. Fox, but I would like to watch more. I just
They're,
haven't been able to find them.
that's fair enough. Wes Anderson he's a very great director. I like his directing style a lot. Um, there's a few of his movies that are on HBO Max, I think. But oh, it's on here somewhere. Let's see. Fantastic Mr. Fox on HBO Max. So if you got HBO Max, bada bing, bada boom, watch it. It's a really good movie. Wes Anderson, I can't say enough. He's one of those directors that just like scratches my OCD. Like everything is really symmetric. Everything is really
But
vibrant and contrasting.
I kind of love that about like directors though. Like there's certain directors that give off certain film vibes. Like you got Tim Burton and his weird uh I don't want to say animated, but his like weird worlds, and then you got Wes Anderson with his some symmetry, and then you got um Tarantino with his action films, and you just have all these different directors that do different things, and then like once you watch Tim Burton and you get enough of him, you could go straight to Wes Anderson and just watch a bunch of Wes Anderson films, and then go to Tarantino and watch a bunch of Tarantino films, and just like be mentally happy with it.
Just kind of absorb all of their directing styles and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I feel like if you watch enough movies that are directed by the same person, you kind of pick up on like little idiosyncrasies that they like to use. Like Wes Anderson, he uses a lot of symmetry. Tarantino uses a lot of like time jumping back and forth, a little confusing at times, but at the end of the movie, you're like, okay, I kind of think I understand what happened.
And then you got like what's his name? I'm blanking. Made Memento.
I'm not sure. I'm terrible with directors' names, honestly.
His last name starts with an S. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Scorsese?
Yeah, he makes a lot of like uh, I don't want to say 1920s based films, but a lot of his films have been based in 1920s, like mafia times and like war times and stuff like that.
Interesting.
He makes a lot of like very intense action, like make you feel some type of way type stuff.
I'm at this. I'm not one of those people that really kind of keep up with like who's directing the movie. I'm more one of those people that if the movie looks interesting, then I'll see it regardless. But I'll always keep my eye out for like one or two directors, maybe. I'd say Tarantino or like M Night Shyamalan if he comes out with a movie. I'm always interested to see what he's got to put out.
And then you got Spielberg who makes a bunch of like fantasy type films,
Mm-hmm.
like Jurassic Park and Star Wars and stuff like that. I think he made Star Wars. Spielberg,
Did he?
pretty sure.
I don't remember. As I said, I'm terrible with directors and actors and anybody. I'm fucking terrible with names, honestly.
I'm pretty sure he made it, but again, I could be wrong.
If he's wrong, leave it in the comments below. But jumping from the film of the week into the quote of the week, because I'm gonna forget if I don't say it now. All right, so this quote of the week is from Alan Watts. If you're not familiar, he was a kind of like a guru, if you will, more of like a spiritual guide kind of guy. Anyways, the quote reads, "Money is an abstraction. It cannot of itself buy any pleasures whatsoever, because all pleasures invoke skill and love." That's a deep ass quote, man.
Damn.
All right, so Alan Watts, he's one of those people that I've kind of like randomly discovered in music and stuff. He was there's an artist Enzo. He's a director, EDM producer, and he tends to use Alan Watts quotes a lot of the times. And
The quote that he uses in I think it's Angst.
oh, it's like anxiety will have no, or anxiety will have no amount of change on what's gonna happen, or something to that effect.
Yeah, but there's like one where he goes, me thinking of things makes me anxious, but thinking or something along the lines of like thinking of me being anxious makes me more anxious or something like that. That
I,
speaks facts though.
I remember what you're talking about, but I don't remember the exact quote. It's like,
Hold up. I got it somewhere.
and the ritual TT looking something up begins, but it goes something along the lines of um I ought not to worry, but because I worry, I can't stop worrying. And because I worried because I'm worried. Or I can't remember exactly how it goes. That's gonna bother me, but TT's over there figuring it out.
Has nothing to think about except thoughts. So, he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusions. By thoughts, I mean specifically chatter in the skull.
Oh yeah, okay.
Perpetual and compulsive repetition of words, of reckoning and calculating. I'm not saying that thinking is bad. Like everything else,
It's useful in moderation.
A good servant, but a
Bad
bad
master.
And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive.
Get your cups up.
Because through excessive thinking they have lost touch with reality. That's to say, we confuse science
With the real world.
But yeah,
Bro, if you're not into EDM, that just means you don't like to dance, and it's okay, honestly. But Enzo, if you haven't heard of Enzo, go check him out. That's the part 2 of the album of the week. But I'll get into the album of the week in just a minute. But Alan Watts, back to the quote of the week. Alan Watts is one of those people that has so many like profound quotes that that are just very interesting to learn about. I always find it interesting to learn about like mystical kind of people, you know. Like I like to read a lot of books like Jordan Peterson and just kind of like those insightful kind of books, honestly. But
here's another one. So this is part of it. I don't know like the very beginning of it, but this is where it starts. It says, "And then you think I can observe the thinker thinking the thoughts. So I am worried, and I ought not to worry because I can't stop worrying. I'm worried because I worry. And you see where that can lead you. This is what we call anxiety."
Mi corazón, cabrón.
But that speaks facts.
Big facts. You've always been just an anxious ass kid, bro.
Yeah.
Always. No matter what, TT's gonna worry about it. Even if you tell him don't worry about it, chances are he's worried about it. But that's the quote of the week. Talking about Alan Watts into the album of the week. So the album of the week is Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. I had TT listen to the album before we started because it's just a banger of an album. There's literally not a miss on that entire album. It starts off, you know, a tornado flew around my room before you came. You know, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
just a bop. You know, when you're in your feelings. Everybody always clowns on me because I listen to Frank Ocean all the time. You know, they be like, "Damn, Jaylen, you be in your feelings all the time, huh?" I'll be like, "Damn near though."
People be clowning on me because I listen to music that they don't listen to.
Oh, it's ridiculous the amount of
Y'all could. I bet y'all. None of you could guess what is on my playlist that I listen to on a daily.
Oh, TT's playlist is like an alien was just trying to observe music from a from like a top down perspective. He's got all the music just on the ground, and he's like a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Man's playlist to go from Stevie Wonder to the goddamn Greta Van Fleet to fucking Bob Seger, fucking
They're all good.
to goddamn Jimi Hendrix to goddamn Eric Clapton. It's a ride listening to TT's playlist.
It's a good ride though.
It's not. I'm about to say. I'm not discouraging your wide variety of music, but
Like whenever I play music at like work or something, bruh, so
Ain't
many
nobody-
people be clowning on me. They be like, "Theo, why you listen to all this old shit?" I'm like, "Cause it's good."
and then TT put on Under the Sea or some musical or some
Yeah.
shit, and then we're in that bitch. We just doing a hairspray number in the back, just working.
Bro, it's good.
The darker the chocolate, the sweeter the taste, and that's where it's at. We just in that bitch vibing. TT's playlist is fried as fuck.
When I freaking started playing music at work, people were questioning my playlists every day. They were
You
like,
started
"What are we
working there, and
listening-"
they were like, "Oh, TT's gonna play the same music that Jaylen plays. That's not too bad. We can stand that." And then you started playing some Rent, and it was like,
Nope.
what the? He said 5,025,000. They said, what the fuck? What are you? All right.
I think it's my ADHD and anxiety mixing. It's like I want to listen to this, but not for that long, so I'm gonna switch it at like halfway through.
I get that. I got music ADHD so bad, bro. I'll listen to 2 minutes of one song and be like, I just really wanted to listen to the bass drop in this song, and then we can go on,
Yeah.
And then they're like, what the fuck? What about the rest of the song? And I'm like, yeah, it's all right. But anyways, back to the album of the week, Frank Ocean's Channel Orange. This album came out so fucking long ago, but it stands the test of time. It is so good. If you haven't seen or listened to Frank Ocean's Channel Orange, start it at the beginning, put your headphones in, or put it on your car radio, go for a drive. It's such a good album. So many different vibes, all the way from like, In Your Feelings to when it starts off uh with Thinking About You, and then it goes more into more like hip hop kind of vibes with Sweet Life, and one of my favorites, like towards the middle of the album, Super Rich Kids. You know that song? It's one of the songs I perform live. Oh, speaking of performing live, I wanted to say thank you for everybody that came out to my shows over the weekend. I appreciate y'all so much. It means a lot to me. But yeah, if you didn't know so far, I do make music. EP is out. Well, if you made it this far, then you probably heard me talk about it in the beginning. But I'm gonna say it again. New EP, Unfuckswittable, on all streaming platforms. Go follow me. Go give it a listen. I appreciate y'all. But speaking of Frank Ocean, did you hear he was performing at Coachella?
No.
Or he performed at Coachella?
No.
Performed. So Frank Ocean came out, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Frank Ocean!" So like, Frank Ocean is notorious for never playing live shows, and so when they saw him on the Coachella playlist, they were like, "Say motherfucking less!" And like, everybody bought tickets to go to Coachella to see Frank Ocean perform, and he comes out. He does 2 songs, right? 3 songs, and then has like an intermission where he plays this video for like half an hour. And it's only a 2-hour set. So everybody's like, what the fuck are we doing watching this video for half an hour? And then he has somebody else come out and do like a guest spot in the middle of his set. And then he's like, all right, I'm done. And then leaves like a half hour early, I think. I don't remember exactly like the ins and outs of what happened, but I remember everybody was like, this is a fucking terrible performance. Like, I paid thousands of dollars to be at Coachella, and Frank Ocean just fucking flopped in front of us. And Frank Ocean, like, before that, has been very famous for having really, really good live shows. Like, even though he doesn't perform, the performances that he has are like really, really, like, they're really, really good audio wise and like crowd wise.
I don't think he flopped. I think he just played y'all into thinking that he was gonna play, but he didn't.
But like, if you're gonna like, he hasn't played live.
Was he actually there? Like, did anybody get a picture of him, like, actually at the venue?
Yeah, he was there. Like, he came out and did like 4 songs maybe, and then.
Well, then I would have been pissed too. But
yeah, like, he did 4 songs, and they weren't even like his most popular songs. He did like weird songs off his albums, but like, he honestly doesn't have a bad song, if I'm being honest. But it was just like a really big letdown for the entire like Coachella festival, because he was supposed to be like the headliner of the whole entire festival. But
we'll get back to you after this advertisement. So, if y'all don't see this, what is this called, Jaylen?
It's called a goddamn ballad song.
So, one of Jaylen's friends, who is probably one of the coolest people I've ever met. His name is Evan. What's his last name? Evan
Hammonds.
Evan Hammonds. It's a pretty chill dude. I don't know if he's selling these yet, but if he is, or if he's not, you should check him out at
the Ginger House. Yeah, gingerhouse.com. I don't remember. He gave me his card earlier today. I went over to his little workstation that he's got over at his at this place that his dad owns, and he does like 3D printing. He does laser engraving. Let me see. Okay. Cutting / engraving, model scaling / prototypes, design / documentation. Evan Hammond's founder/director. I ain't gonna give out your information on the podcast, but the gingerhousedesigns.com. If you are interested, I don't know exactly what he's got going up on the website, if I'm being honest, but he's got these ballad songs that he 3D printed for me. He had a couple of them that he was showing me about a week ago, and I don't know if y'all can see, but these are like the filament is what's it called? Iridescent. So it shines between like red and orange. But super fun, like little fidget toy, you know. I'd be bringing it to work all the time, just sitting there while I'm bored, you know. I've gotten pretty good at the little flick around the wrist, you know, a little how you doing. But super fun little thing to fuck with.
But yeah, go check them out.
But yeah,
cool,
if you haven't already, go check out the Friends with Differences podcast. Just had an episode drop with his cousin maybe about a week ago. Maybe by the time this is up, he'll probably have another one out, but I'm not sure. But he's going to Electric Forest, and he's gonna try and sell some of these as like little fidget toys. You know, people be on the drugs. You know.
Doesn't he also have Christmas ornaments? Or is he selling those yet? I don't know if he's selling those.
Yeah, he's got these like little so like imagine a sphere, but like it spins down. It's hard to explain, but it's like this little like spiral kind of looking ornament. He's gonna sell them in packs and stuff for Christmas, I think. But he's got like a whole bunch of them printed out. You know, he'll probably sell for a 6-pack of them. I'm sure. I don't know exactly what he's gonna do, but if you enjoy podcasts other than the Two Tone podcast, go check out Friends with Differences. Check out what Evan and Liam are doing over there. Super great guys. We'll have to have a crossover episode here soon. I don't know what
would be cool.
The Two Tone Differences.
You know what I think would be cool?
The Two Differences podcast. Tell me what you think would be cool, team.
Well, I don't think we have enough subscribers for this, or if they would even want to do it.
Let them know.
But have like a get together with the Friends with Differences, like we set up in a parking lot somewhere, just have people come by, say hi, do whatever.
What we gonna do?
Do a podcast
on the side of the street?
Yeah.
Bro, that would be so loud. You know how like
not on the side of the street in a parking lot somewhere. Like,
you know how technically difficult that would be? We'd have to find either a generator or a power source of some sort.
Probably.
That would be so hard, bro.
Maybe.
We can do it inside and have all the power we need.
True.
All right.
Let's
get into some of the topics that we have for discussion today. Where did I put my phone
that we've been doing for the past couple minutes?
Do what now?
That we've been talking about for the past couple minutes.
I mean, other topics other than the film of the week and whatnot. All right. So we talked a little bit about stop motion and animation. The golden rule of art. What is the golden rule of art, TT?
All right. My opinion, the golden rule of art is
let them know.
Do what you want because you want to do it, not because people are telling you to. Don't make art for the benefits of others. Do it for yourself. Because art is really about what you want to do. If you have other people stepping in telling you, oh, this is wrong, I'd rather you do this, then you're not doing your art, you're doing their art for them.
Very, very true. Very, very true.
They might pay you for it, but still.
That reminds me of this quote from Jordan Peterson. He wrote this book. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but he wrote this book called The 12 Rules for Life. And one of the rules is do what is meaningful, not what is expedient. And I feel like that kind of goes along with what you're saying. You know, do what you actually wanted to do, not what you think is gonna, you know, get you the quick dollar or what you think is gonna please everybody else. That's a very good rule when creating really anything, honestly. A lot of times people will kind of like with my music when I tell somebody I make music, I'm a 6'2" light skinned dude, they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, you rap? That's what's up." I'm like, as I said before, I have 2 rap songs maybe, and the rest are kind of what they are. But I wouldn't ever really say that I'm a rap artist to begin with. I'd say that I'm a songwriter producer. Honestly, now nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to work for a production company like Warner Brothers or something. But then again, I wouldn't, because then they would be telling me to do stuff that I wouldn't want to make. And
I can
then,
understand that.
like, but as before, if I had my own production company, I would be able to make my own stuff. But we talked about that in a different episode. So.
Also, right now, you can make your own stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse. Go out, get some footage, edit the footage, put it on YouTube. You need to get the experience in. You need to learn how to edit and capture and framing and all that wonderful shit. I understand it's frustrating as fuck to see what you could be doing, but you gotta start from the bottom, as the last episode was named. You gotta start in the trenches.
It's just difficult because I don't know like what would be interesting.
What do you find interesting?
Because I don't find watching grass grow in Indiana interesting.
Well, I'm not saying you gotta fucking put a time lapse on the grass, my nigga, but like you could, be like, oh shit, there's a bird, hit it with the camera, and then be like, oh shit, it flew away, and then I don't know. I'm giving you terrible examples, but do something. That's all I'm saying. Just get your reps in, get your experience in.
We should make a loiter squad too.
No,
just a group of people that do stupid shit together.
Bruh, I'm too fucking old to be doing anything remotely stupid, dog. My knees will blow out the second I even get out this chair, probably.
I'm telling you, or you've been telling me for a while. Actually, not even for a while, for like 2 weeks. We should make a skate video, and then you stopped. But then you didn't never get back to me on that. Like, oh, we should make a skate video again, or we should make a skate video now.
Yeah, I can't skate that good anymore. My fucking knees, bro. My knee. As I said, I'm about to break my fucking knees in half trying to get out this chair, dog. It's gonna be vicious when this podcast is over. But there's a lot of things that we could do. Not even, as you said, you don't want to fucking go out and watch the grass grow. We could make a music video. Bada bing, bada boom. We could do a whole endless supply of shit, but as I've told you, filming ain't my passion, so I'm not gonna put all my time into it. I got my own shit that I'm trying to do. You gotta figure your own shit out. It fucking sucks. It takes forever, and you don't get paid. But as I said, do what is meaningful and not what is expedient. It'll get you a little. But
so when do you want to make this music video, Jalen?
That's a good question, honestly.
Because we never have time off together, so.
Yeah, that's the problem. We damn near have to take like a vacation together.
Yeah,
and that'd be a little.
Just a 1-day vacation.
No, we'd need more than 1 day. But
yeah, like
I don't even know what song I'd make a music video for, honestly.
Because if I don't work, you work, and if you don't work, I work. So it's just like we gotta find some type of way. But again, you don't know what music or what song you would want to do.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go through like my catalog of music and actually figure out what kind of music video I'd want to do. I have an idea for one of them. We've talked about it before. That cowboy one.
You said that you wanted to make that a short. I didn't think you were making that music video.
Well, I mean, it'd just be like a video to go along with the music type shit. I kind of want to do like an animated music. I feel like that would be cool.
You know anybody that can draw anime? Because I can't.
No, I don't. I probably could, but it would take me too long, and I'd get frustrated about halfway through it and just stop. But, anyways, onward, brother.
All right.
Okay, so the next topic that TT had for discussion, being an artist in today's world. What did you want to talk about being an artist in today's world for? What did
It's fucking hard.
Yeah, I'm aware. That's what I've been telling you for the past 5 minutes. This shit is fucking hard. This shit is not easy. There's a reason everybody doesn't make creative stuff, you know. It's not an easy industry to get into, not only because, you know, we live in the middle of fucking Indiana, but also, you know, there's so many people, you know, trying to get into the industry that it's just on a numbers basis. It's hard to really get your name out there if you're not, you know, on the streets being like, listen to my CD, you know, at the gas station type shit. But
I know not everybody is like me or like you or like any artist, but being in Indiana, literally the only jobs that anybody ever wants to do, farm work or doctor or nursing. That is literally anybody wants to do. The last 17 people I've talked to. Oh, and construction. The last 17 people I've talked to, they want to do those jobs. And I'm like, you just want to sit at a desk for the rest of your life. Just patient 3. Like,
yeah, I don't understand how motherfuckers sit at a desk all day. If I couldn't move around at work, I would actually go insane. Like, the reason that I like working in the kitchen is because it's fast paced and because you're moving around all the time. You're not sitting there just.
Well, it's not even just that. I feel like it just get boring. Like after, like I get like you want to be a doctor, but like after like 2 or 3 years, you're just gonna be like, why didn't I do something else with my life?
I mean, being a doctor, you get them bands though.
You do.
You get them fat bands, but you also got that fat student debt.
Yeah.
That's another deterrent from going to college for me, honestly.
I mean, I ain't got no disrespect against doctors or anything, but just
I'm about to say we need doctors, we need nurses, but
I feel like everybody's just like nowadays, like one of the greatest films ever made, Metropolis. It is like Metropolis. Everybody's just getting in line to do the same fucking thing.
I don't think I've ever seen Metropolis.
I haven't really seen it either, but I've seen like clips of it.
You said one of the greatest movies ever made, and then you ain't even seen the movie. What you talking about?
But I've seen clips of it. And
oh my god, this motherfucker.
In the clips, like they have like these people that line up in like lines.
That's usually how you
like
line up.
Centuries. And they're like robots. Like they're all just like taking one step at the same time.
Just a cog in the machine.
Yeah. And then you got like people like us that are trying to break out of that. But
it is. It's definitely not an easy task.
It isn't.
It is not an easy task in the slightest, especially when you're on your own in the beginning. You really got to kind of find a group of people and hope that
and you also have to like find people that want to do it. Like finding actors in Indiana is not very easy when you don't have that much money to pay.
Very true. Not a lot of people are willing to, especially at the age we are now. I feel like it's a lot easier when you're in school to find actors and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just have your friends be in it. That's damn near how me and Kyle started. You know, I would just be a little character in his short, and then, you know, he'd have an extra person to be a character if you needed. So it's really all about, you know, just finding a group of people that you can rely on and hoping that they can convince, you know, maybe a friend or two every now and again to come and be not even like a main actor or nothing, but like a little, you know, like a waiter that comes and be like, would you like some coffee?
Yeah.
You know, type shit. But
Kyle, though, he sent me a link to a, or it wasn't a link. It was a story from Instagram on a. I don't know if they're a production company or not, but it's a film company, and they're based in Indiana, and they're like in Bloomington or something like that, and it looks pretty interesting. But they like put out a poll to see who would like want to do it, and it was like yes or no. Should we bring or should we start a class I don't know how you describe it, but like a class to learn how to get into the film industry and stuff like that.
So like they'd host a seminar to do it.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
It looks pretty interesting though. I've looked into it for a couple of days, but I haven't
feel like
heard
that-
anything. So
I feel like that'd definitely be something to kind of follow up into.
yeah,
Just see what you can do. I know that there's a couple like really, I wouldn't want to say really small, but there's a couple small production companies in Indiana. I can't remember exactly what the name is. Oh, it's gonna fucking kill me. But
is it Pegasus?
I think so.
That's the one Kyle was talking
Yeah.
to me about.
Yeah. I think
Pegasus
Kyle,
Pictures or something like that.
what was that?
Pegasus Pictures.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the pig, if I remember correctly. But I think Kyle's worked with them before. But it'd definitely be something I feel like you would be interested in working with.
Because I feel like they just like they would help me with connections to find people.
Right, like once you start surrounding yourself with the people that are like in the industry and stuff, it's kind of easy to, get those connections that you never really thought you could have. But like with like the way that I got the gig at the Little Flower Festival, my aunt knows the guy that runs the music at the Little Flower Festival, so she was like, "Oh, my nephew plays music. You should have him at the festival," and then gave me his number. It's all a game about connections and who you know. Because if you know, like say another director or something, they'd be like, "Oh, this actor, actress, they're really good. I feel like they'd be good in that role that you're writing for."
Yeah. I am so Channel 6.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Talk to me about it.
I want to talk about that for a minute. To
Okay.
you.
Oh, to me. All
To
right.
you.
Let me turn the mics off. Hold up.
All right, no, they can
Okay.
they can hear it
They
too,
can hear.
but,
All right. Exclusive Channel
so-
6 talk on the Two Tone Podcast. Let me know.
Channel 6 is, I don't want to say a great idea for a film, but it's a pretty decent one.
I
But
would hope so. You've been writing it for like a couple months now.
yeah. But this idea of the film that's based in the 70s has been picking my brain for the past couple weeks now. And I'm not even done with the other one.
I feel like that happens to me all the
It is
time.
so annoying because like I just want to get this one done and then start on that one, but I don't even have this one close to being like finished. Like I have the script and everything, but I don't have like it. I'm not in post in that. In
Right.
Channel 6, but the 70s film that I have an idea for is just like picking my brain.
Without giving like the plot away, what's the premise of the 70s movie?
Still haven't figured that out. But
Oh my
it's
god.
more of
child.
like yes, it's more of cuz like I messaged mom about this
Mhm.
because she was born in 1970 whatever.
5, I think.
She's old as fuck.
Yep.
But
I'm dead as fuck. That's fucking hilarious. Anyways,
But I messaged her and I was like asking her what was popular in the 70s? Like household items, what did everybody have in the 70s?
goddamn a butter churner, I think.
But it's just like I think it's just like me and having ADHD about wanting to fucking do shit.
Oh, that's me as fuck, dog. I'll start one song, just hit the bass and the snare, it's and I'm like, oh no, I don't like that. Go to something else. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's something, lay the keys, and then I'm like, oh, hold up. I was working on this song last week. Hold up, what happened to that song? And then I'll go back to work on that one song, and then 2 weeks later, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh yeah, that was kind of tight, and then start working on that again.
It's just it's irritating having this want to make a new film, but not even be done with, or like a want to make something new, but not even be done with the other thing that you were working on.
And you could always be your own actor.
Could.
To set up the camera, hit that record, You just walk into the frame, with your little coffee mug that you got. TT got a little, like, 1970s-esque, like, burnt orange coffee mug, You just walking in, take your little sip, looking out the window.
Because I don't know if I want this to be like an action film or what.
The 70s film?
Yeah. Because I feel like action films have been made way too much in the 70s, because you got like Tarantino, who makes films based in the 70s that are action films.
Right.
But I don't know if I want it to be an action film or like a love story or what.
I'm about to say, I feel like the setting is kind of secondary to the story. You can almost put any story in any setting.
Yeah.
If you really think about it correctly.
Yeah.
Like you could write a movie about a Western and then put it in space and it'd still kind of work,
Star Wars.
Exactly.
But on to what we were talking about earlier. You were talking about something before I interrupted you.
I don't remember, honestly.
All right.
It is what it is.
It's our ADHD for you guys, if you wanted to know.
Talk
about something else, forget about the last thing. And then come back to the last thing at the very end.
Yeah, I got all the fucking alphabet disorders, dog. Fucking OCD, ADHD, fucking ABCD. I got fucking elemental P. I got all of this shit.
Then you got people that we know that can't talk.
Got the fucking dyslexia.
Russell.
He gonna be listening at work and he gonna be like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll have to have Russell on the podcast one day. He's more of like an artistic influence kind of guy.
It's also, I feel like he'd be a really good comedian.
I could see it.
Just because, like, I don't think he'd be like a good comedian in writing it out his stuff, but like just being like off the top of the head. Russell just
doing like crowd work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be fucking funny to see. We have like a Zaxby's open mic.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. All right, so the last thing we have on the docket for today is art as a union. What do you mean by art as a union? I'm kind of confused on what you're talking about here.
Basically the same thing we were talking about a couple episodes ago, about how artists should be helping each other, and like we should all be in one area.
Oh, so like what you were talking about with like creating a company, kind of?
Yeah.
Just making
everything easier for creatives.
Indeed. Because that would be very interesting to see.
It's
like
so difficult being from the middle of Indiana and your dreams are aspiring to do. They're based in like California or wherever the fuck. But you're in Indiana and you're just like,
yeah, I feel like we're beating a dead horse at this point. It's terrible to be from the Midwest, honestly. Like unless you're from like a really big city in the Midwest, like Chicago or like I don't know, like Cincinnati or Detroit. There's not really very many music hubs in Indiana, honestly. You got Gary, but it's all the way up there by Chicago. You just kind of get like the drip from Chicago into Gary, and then there's not really too many music spots in India either.
Well, just like not even music, filmmaking, music, painting.
All this shit. Yeah, I'm at this. I feel like painting is kind of a little different story. You got like murals and stuff downtown.
Well, yeah, but like a lot of those painters, I wouldn't really consider them like popular or well known. They just paint and do what they want.
That's very true.
Whereas like you got like people from
as I think about it, I couldn't tell you one painter from any of the murals downtown.
Pittsburgh. What's his dick? The guy that painted the tomato soup can, wasn't he from Pittsburgh?
Oh, I have no idea. Motherfucking Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea, honestly.
You got Andy Warhol. You got like people from the guy from Italy painted the Mona Lisa. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now.
Da Vinci? No.
Yeah, it's Da Vinci.
I don't know.
One of those artists.
Painters. Anyway, Google that shit if it's
still,
picking
like,
your brain that bad.
Yeah, just being from the Midwest, it's just meh.
Yeah, you definitely got to go somewhere else to make it out of the Midwest. There's not really much room for growth in the Midwest. You can kind of get to a certain point where you have like a decent sized following, but once I feel like also as we were saying, it's kind of like really who you know, because I suppose if you had enough clout in Indiana that you could be like, hey, dudes in Los Angeles, ship me a camera so I can make this movie in Indiana.
But like, I don't think I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there's been like very small amount of films filmed in Indiana.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's not a very
but it's not like we don't have anything. We got like cornfields, we got like downtown area. But like it's just I feel like nobody wants to just like go, "Hey, we're from LA. You want to go to Indiana to film something?"
Yeah, it's like way the fuck out of the way,
Yeah.
But there's not really too much in Indiana that's like spectacular, I want to say. There's not really like the downtown life isn't really like it's not as buzzing or as popular or as vibrant as like New York or Los Angeles or one of those hubs that entertainment seems to flow to. But it's also, you got bars downtown that do live music. You got a few places that do open mics around downtown area and the surrounding counties and stuff. But once you get out of the circle of like 465, it's fucking pretty much cornfields and fucking trucks until you get to either Chicago or Louisville.
Basically, yeah. But like even then, like the bars downtown, they're in like the nightlife doesn't really show up till about nighttime, and we got jobs to do, so we can't be up till 4 a.m. playing live mic shows.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that kind of deterred me from doing live music for a little while is because open mics are like from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock, and then that's when I'm usually about to get into bed, winding down for the night. I can't be up until 11 o'clock, just talking to everybody, doing damn near meet and greets with I'm not even meeting and greeting, but, getting to know everybody else that's at the open mic and shit. It's just, it's a lot of fucking strain, especially since I work first shift.
Also, like, set up and tear down and all that and how long that shit takes, plus the time that you're playing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's just, I can't imagine.
Yeah, set up and tear down is one of the fucking worst things. As a musician, it's one of the things I fucking hate. Like I always try and get there a little bit early just so I can set up and then, go chill in the car for 5 minutes before I have to go up. But
and then you got like festivals that you play at where it's like you have people coming on after you, so you have to tear down really quickly.
Yeah, luckily enough, there wasn't anybody that was on after me, but that's I played this festival. What was it last year? The Greenwood Pride Festival, and I had like a 10-minute set, And then the dude came on the stage and he was like, "All right, Jaylen Cole," and I was like, "Oh my god, it's KO," but Anyways,
Yeah.
and then he was like, "All right, so get off the stage, bud." And I'm like, "Oh, I got a looper, I got a distortion pedal, I got keys, I got a guitar. It's gonna take me about 5 minutes to get all this off stage."
And then like you have no help because
Oh yeah, I was standing there by myself, winding up a chord real quick, and the other chick was standing behind me, just standing there looking at me, just waiting for me to be done.
yeah.
And then she was like, "Freedom," and I was still standing there, just can you wait till I get off the stage to start singing, motherfucker?
Yeah.
It was a wild ride to say the least, but
I mean, that also kind of has to do with like filmmaking and stuff. Cause like, say if I rent out an area to get a couple shots,
right,
or like, say I need to film a whole like 3 scenes in one area, I need to set up and tear down within a certain amount of time because like said place is gonna open in a couple hours. But
right. That was the one
Yeah.
thing about shooting the night shift. Luckily it was set at night, so it wasn't too much of a stretch to film in the middle of the night.
and I mean, like, it's not like we had people like running around to like shut down the store or anything. We had time.
Right, I mean, it was after, but also, that was another thing with finding actors that can
I have the time
know.
to do it.
that have the time to do it, and that it's not a fucking hassle to set up the schedule with.
Yeah.
But if any of you are interested in being an actor / set up tear down person for TT's films,
Or just anybody in general.
or just if you want to be co-creative with TT in his ventures to make it
Edit.
out of
If
Indiana,
you want to be an editor.
editors, if you know how to edit,
If you want to be a sound mixer. If you
if
want
you
to
go with that clicky,
be
you know.
like behind the scenes.
if you want to be in front of the scenes, if you want to be in between the scenes, I guess if you want to be under the scene, we can work something out. But
I mean, we could put you on the floor, but I don't think you're gonna be able to leave.
the telltale heart type shit.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But yeah.
I appreciate everybody for listening to the Two Tone Podcast. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. TT, give him the old Midwest goodbye outro.
All right. Go check out Kyle Baston at Baston Films on YouTube. He's got some bangers, some banger shorts. Go check out Evan. He's a pretty cool dude. I forget his last name again.
Hammonds.
Hammonds. Evan Hammonds. Go
Friends
check
with
him out.
Differences podcast.
Yeah. We will see you guys next week on the new episode.
The new episode of what?
The Two Tone Podcast. Subscribe if you want to know.
Yeah, that was a pretty good outro. Not too bad. 7 out of 10.
Subscribe to Jaylen's shit.
You didn't even plug your own shit, bro. Oh my god, switch back real quick. Plug your own shit.
All right. Subscribe to me at Glasshouse Films 8 on YouTube. If you want to get in contact with me about any opportunities and helping me, contact me at Glasshouse Films 8 on Instagram. And yeah, check out Jaylen Cale on his stuff.
As I've said about 4 or 5 times during this podcast, I have a new EP out called Unfuckswittable on all streaming platforms. Yeah, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Spotify.
Where can they find you?
Where can they find me?
What's your name?
Oh, J.A.K. Go check it out. If you see in the link tree scrolling down there, I'll put it back up for y'all real quick. Linktree.com/JAK Productions. That'll take you to, if you want to come back to the podcast, it'll take you to the podcast. It'll take you to my music. It'll take you to my Venmo if you want to support. If future albums or whatever you want to support. It'll also lead you to my Instagram, Twitter, all that wonderfulness. Go subscribe, follow, whatever it is on whatever you're on. But I just want to say thank you one more time for subscribing to the Two Tone Podcast. Like, leave a comment, share it with your brother, your sister, your goldfish,
anybody and everybody.
Yeah, the crackhead on the street.
The crackhead on your doorstep.
Yeah, go to a prison. Get a visit with somebody. You ain't even gotta know him.
Go to church.
There'll be some. Yeah, share with your pastor. As you walking up, he's the body of Christ, and you go the Two Tone Podcast, and then you go back down the aisle, and that's one more person that knows about it. I appreciate everybody listening. This has been the Two Tone Podcast.